I am Ferdinand Marcos, and I am the President of the Republic of the Philippines. I stand today on behalf of 110 million Filipinos.
Be a reiteration mostly of the things that were already passed on upon by Attorney Raj, but I'll ask them for emphasis and clarity. Mr. Secretary, I understand that, of course, you signed an affidavit of support in favor of Mr. Alberto Rodolfo Y. de la Serna, the 2016 Mr. Supranational Philippines, confirming that you will provide financial assistance to Mr. de la Serna for his travel to Poland, Ukraine, and Italy from October 9, 2023 to October 18, 2023. And we understand that this particular document, affidavit of support, was found at the premises of Lacus South 99.
Hello.
I'm just wondering, why is, but of course you already have your explanation a while ago, but honestly I'm really wondering, why is a copy of your affidavit of support found at the premises of Lacus South 99? Why would a POGO have a copy of your affidavit, and what interest do they have in your personal life?
Mr. Chair, because my EA, who is studying in an aviation school, decided to temporarily take residence in the premises of Whirlwind. That is the answer here, Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you. And of course, it was also presented to the Senate, that which you deny also, that there's a copy of the organizational chart of Lacus South 99 submitted to POGO, to PAGCOR in your application, which states that Attorney Atty.Roque is the legal head of Lacus South 99, and the same document was presented previously to the Senate.
Mr. Chair, as Attorney Jeza Fernandez has stated, that is unverified, and according to the rules of evidence, that is only a piece of paper until authenticated by a person who saw the document or by the person himself who prepared the document.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I also note that it was also mentioned a while ago that former Secretary Atty.Roque facilitated the meeting with PAGCOR Chief Alejandro Tenco. And this was confirmed by PAGCOR Chief Alejandro Tenco, facilitated the meeting with Cassandra Ong, and Cassandra Ong is the representative both of Whirlwind previously and now the representative of Lacus South 99. Do you have any comments, Secretary?
What is the question, Mr. Chair?
There's no question, but if you wish to comment, I would let you comment. But if not, then I'll proceed. And it was mentioned, nabanggit po ni PAGCOR Chief, na nakiusap po kayo kung pwedeng bigyan ng pagkakataon ng Lacus South 99 na mabayaran ng kailang arrears.
It was Cassandra who did the talking. I merely accompanied her, and I accompanied Cassandra as a person whom I know is from Whirlwind. At that point, I will stress that even PAGCOR acknowledged that on that specific date, the official representative of Lucky South to PAGCOR was Mr. Dennis Cunanan.
For the record, Attorney Atty.Roque, ulitin po natin ulit yung tanong, kayo po ba yung abogado ng POGO ng Lucky South 99?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair. I have said it many, many times, and I will maintain that. And assuming arguendo that I was or is, the question is, where is the crime? But I will not acknowledge a relationship that does not exist, because according to the Code of Professional Responsibility for Lawyers, there must first be a meeting of the mind between the lawyer and the attorney to repose trust and confidence on the lawyer to represent the client on legal matters.
Maraming salamat po. And some summary pieces of evidence we have, in addition to those that have already been mentioned, your affidavit of support in favor of Mr. Alberto Rodolfo Y. de la Serna, your former EA, is found at the premises of the POGO Lucky South 99. POGO Lucky South 99 organizational chart submitted to PAGCOR, and it states that you are Lucky South 99's legal head. You went to you facilitated a meeting of Lucky South 99 with the PAGCOR chief, Tenco, and you were with Cassandra Ong and requested for Lucky South 99 extension of payment of its arrears. And yet, Secretary Roque, you deny to be a lawyer of Lucky South 99. I'm just wondering who are you trying to fool? We are not actually born yesterday, Secretary. Sa tingin mo po ba kaya mong paikutin ang mga tao sa hearing na ito kasamang sambayan ng Pilipino?
Hala.
Of course, deny as much as you want. But the overwhelming pieces of evidence point to one thing. An only reasonable person, any reasonable person, will come to an unmistakable conclusion. You are part, or perhaps a lawyer, of Pogo South 99.
Mr. Chair, I resent that. I am not fooling anyone. I resent that also coming from someone who was my former law student and who was my inaanak. That's not the way to treat a resource person of this House. At least when I was a member of this House, we never treated resource persons in that way. I resent that for the record, Mr. Chairman.
May I ask the honorable member, Kong Salo, to refrain in issuing statements that would insult our resource persons. I am not saying you are, but try to avoid issuing statements that would hurt the feelings of our resource persons.
Hala.
Please proceed.
Will do, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, in our last hearing on August 16, Friday in Pampanga, Secretary Roque was invited by the Squad Committee. And Attorney Roque sent a letter dated August 13, 2024, addressed to the Honorable Chairman, Robert Ace Barbers. Yours true. Are you the lead chairman? Informing Chair Barbers that he will not be able to participate in the said meeting due to conflict with the previously scheduled court hearing before the Regional Trial Court of Manila on 16 August 2024, the same date of our Quad Committee hearing. I have here a copy of that particular letter. Mr. Chair, we have also in receipt here a copy of certification from Attorney Jennifer H. de la Cruz, Buendia, Clerk of Court and ex officio Sheriff of Manila, RTC Manila, stating that Attorney Roque has no hearing on August 16 and did not appear in the courts of Manila on said date. Mr. Chair, I hate to say it, but clearly, Attorney Roque, our former secretary, and my former professor, law professor, lied to this committee. And that amounts actually to disrespect on the members of the committee, which is contemptible under Section 11E of the Rules of the House of Representatives on inquiries in aid of legislation. I therefore move, Mr. Chair, that Attorney Roque be cited for contempt for disrespecting the members of this committee when he lied in order to evade attending the hearing of this committee where he was invited. So move, Mr. Chair.
I did not quite hear what you said, Congressman Salo. Can you please repeat? Are you moving for the committee to cite Mr. Attorney Roque in contempt?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Pursuant to Section 11E of the Rules of the House of Representatives in aid of legislation.
Naku,
Mr.
Move,
Chair.
Mr. Chair.
kinontempt yung professor.
1 minute suspension.
Hala kayo.
The chair first to determine the parliamentary status. The parliamentary status is that there was a motion by Congressman Ron Salo to cite our resource person, Attorney Roque, in contempt for lying before this committee when when he was invited in August 16 when the Quadcom had its first public hearing. And according to that letter, he stated that he cannot attend for the reason that he has a hearing in an RTC in the city of Manila.
Hala.
Congressman Ron Salo read the certification issued by the Clerk of Court of the RTC Manila, which states that the hearing where Attorney Roque is a counsel was scheduled in August 15 and not August 16. And in August 16, there was a certification from the same clerk of court saying that Atty.Roque has no hearing in any of the RTC of the City of Manila. That is the parliamentary status, Your Honors, and there is a pending motion by Congressman Ron Salo to cite Attorney Atty.Roque in contempt for lying before this committee when he submitted an excuse to his being absent in our hearing last August 16. Now, pursuant to our rules, Section 11 of the Rules of Procedure Governing Inquiries in Aid of Legislation, it says that the committee may punish any person for contempt by a vote of 2/3 of the members present, there being a quorum. The following shall be the grounds for citing any person in contempt. In this case, as stated by Congressman Salo, the reason for the contemptible act committed by our resource person is in paragraph E, which reads, acting in a disrespectful manner towards any member of the committee or any misbehavior in the presence of the committee. So, may I solicit comments from our members before we rule on this motion? In the spirit of fairness, because the committee has been citing our resource persons who have violated this rule in contempt and detaining them in the premises of the House of Representatives.
Tala kayo, guys.
Would there be any comment from our members?
Mr. Chair, before we vote
Chairman Abante?
before we vote of the contempt, we would like to hear first the explanation of the reason behind his absence to this committee last year.
Thank you, Your Honor. I was hoping to be given an opportunity to be heard. It was an honest mistake, Your Honor. I have also been a member of this chamber. We don't hold hearings on Fridays. So when I saw the notice of hearing, I assumed that just like the first and the second hearing where I attended, that it would be on a Thursday. And that is true, that I had a hearing both in the morning and in the afternoon. And that is why I sent that letter. By the time I realized that it was a Friday and there was in fact a hearing, it was also close already to lunchtime and the hearing was in Pampanga. So I apologize for the honest mistake, but the truth of the matter is I have been here on Thursdays, so 2 hearings already, and I just assumed that just like in the past where we don't hold hearings on a Friday, that the hearing would be on a Thursday, as in fact today is also a Thursday. So it was an instance of, okay, there's a hearing, it's on Thursday again, and I have a hearing on Thursday. That's why I sent the letter right away, not even realizing that 16 is a Friday. That was an honest mistake. Had I had any intentions not to appear, I would not have appeared today as well. But in the first 2 instances, and those were the 2 instances where I was invited, I in fact appeared. I have no wish to disrespect the very same body of which I was a part of, which I consider at some point in time as my happy place, in fact, the House of Representatives. Thank you, Your Honors.
I would like to ask Atty.Roque, being a part of this Congress before, if he believes that this committee has all the power to contempt anybody else.
That is recognized, Your Honor.
If you recognize that, therefore, your public apology also include that you believe and realize that this committee has the right to order you in contempt.
That is recognized, Your Honor.
That's the only thing that I would like to say, Mr. Chair. That's the reason why I said let us hold this in abeyance, because I'm not objecting. I'm not objecting. I am just asking that we hold this in abeyance, all right? And that's the only reason why. I'm not objecting at all. If, for example, the two-thirds of this Quad Committee would cite him in contempt, Mr. Chair, I would not in any way object, but I have given my manifestation.
Thank you, Congressman Abante.
Mr. Chair,
Congressman Acop.
I think the protocol is when there is a motion and properly seconded, no objection, I think the chairman should rule. Now, if there is any objection, it will be subject to votation. So why don't we follow our rules?
Thank you for that reminder, Congressman Acop. The reason why, when the motion was made by the movant, the chair immediately suspended the hearing so that we can confer among each other and see whether indeed a violation was committed before this committee, and that violation is a contemptible act before the members of the committee. We do respect the opinion of Congressman Paul Dasa in saying that it is the exact opposite because to most of the members of the committee, lying before this committee after you took an oath is a contemptible act in the committee. Therefore, following as well the arguments raised by other members, the motion that we will decide is a motion to cite Attorney Harry.Roque in contempt, which comes with it the penalty of a detention in the detention facility of the House of Representatives. Now, since there is already a motion by Congressman Ron Salo, it is now the opinion of the chair, which I hope my co-chairs would likewise follow, to vote on the motion.
Mr. Chair, before we do the voting,
Okay, Congressman Fernandez.
we recognize and appreciate Attorney Harry.Roque as being apologetic. And as a matter of fact, Mr. Chairman, it took us so many hours or maybe minutes to discuss this motion that was moved by Congressman Salo. And we know for a fact that he is really so apologetic about to the issue that what had happened. But unfortunately, I still remember the last time that we have discussed the issue of the SMNI. Celis and Badoy was cited in contempt. And Attorney Harry.Roque was so vocal about attacking our institution and every members of this house. And I wanted to ask Secretary Roque before we render our vote on this issue, because as an institution, Attorney Roque, you malign each and every member of this house by telling that we are all corrupt and we are conniving with the DPWH. And a while ago, we were discussing about it. And we are very hurtful of what you have said in that video that we have seen. As much as we wanted to accept your apology, somehow behind our minds and our hearts, there is this something that lingers in all of us, that you are being apologetic in this committee, but somehow when you are outside of this committee,
Madaldal kasi.
bad words are being thrown against all of us.
Yes.
So, Attorney Harry.Roque, can you somehow tell us why it is so that if you are here, you are being so nice with us, but if you are outside,
You're very
it's the other way around? Can we have some comment, Attorney Harry.Roque? Please.
Your Honor, aside from the fact that I respect the institution where I came from there is also proper decorum. So I have always maintained that as a lawyer, I should be in top behavior while in Congress, and that is why there's a substantial difference when one is in the exercise of freedom of speech outside, and when one is before an institution like Congress. No? Well, thank you very much for contemplating, Your Honors, whether or not this committee will cite me in contempt. I will, of course, accept it because I have no choice. But, Your Honor, I would like also to emphasize that the committee must abide with its own rules. No? And for now, I would like to make a query to the 4 committee secretaries of the Quad if we in fact have a quorum as we take this vote. Because I think as a person who may or may not be detained, I need to ensure at least that the rules are followed, that there be a 2/3 vote of the body, there being a quorum. And I do not know what quorum is involved, given that there is a Quad committee now, and which is actually a first as far as legislative history is concerned, no? That there are 4 committees. I'm just doing so, Your Honor, because I leave my faith to you, but that faith should, of course, be in conformity with the rules. But thank you very much, Your Honors.
Yeah,
Mr. Chair,
my question,
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Secretary, is that are you being truthful with all your accusations against the institution and against all the congressmen when you deliver those statements after the contempt that was issued by all of us with Celis and Badoy?
Your Honor, I still represent Celis and Badoy. And I raised legal grounds against the contempt. I said that there was no due process because in jurisprudence, there must be a show cause order before being cited in contempt. And I also said that the exercise of freedom of expression should not be deemed to be contemptible, especially under the facts of the Celis Badoy case, because they were raising an issue of public interest. So I do not know what other matters the good chair is referring to, but I certainly know how the institution works. I respect the institution, but we all know that there are also abuses within the institution, no? Which should not in any way affect the integrity itself of the institution, but certain practices will have to be condemned if, in fact, one sees them happening.
Yeah, we understand you're kind of representing the SMNI, and we understand as well that of your freedom of expression. But of course, you have established also friends among the members of this house, and with that collective accusations against all of us, that really hurt a lot of members of this 19th Congress. And that's the reason maybe we have a long discussion about your predicament because of that friendship that you have established in this Congress. But of course, we have to follow our rules. As what you have said a while ago, that there are certain rules that we have to follow. Painful as it may be, but you have a lot of friends in here, but we have to do our job. We hope you will understand that, Secretary Roque.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I'm always guided by the fact that I'm probably one of the most heavily criticized personalities in this country. No? And I have to take this criticism in stride because of the importance of freedom of expression. And I would hope that all public servants would take to heart the decision of this honorable court, of the honorable court, that public servants should not be onion-skinned. But in any case, as part of my rights as a person who may or may not be cited in contempt, may I know, Mr. Chairs, if we have a quorum at least to determine if I should be cited in contempt. And this is a first, because this is a first meeting involving 4 committees, so I do not know how the quorum will be determined. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Maybe, Mr. Chairman, after this, we will be establishing if we have a quorum or none.
Mr. Chair.
But for the meantime, thank you, Mr. Attorney Harry Roque, for that reply. And
Mr.
I yield
Chair.
back to the chairman.
Mr.
Okay,
Chair, may I say
um,
something for a while before anything
Before I acknowledge Congressman Abante, let me just reply to the query of Attorney Harry Roque with respect to the quorum.
else? Mr. Chair, he has no right. He has no right whatsoever to speak of the quorum, Mr. Chair. What I'm saying is, his right is to appeal. He has no right whatsoever to ask for a quorum, Mr. Chair.
I absolutely agree with you, Congressman Abante, but in response to the query of Attorney Harry Roque, kung ano yung quorum sa Quadcom, para lang malinaw, babasahin ko ang ground rules that we all approved and adopted during the organizational meeting of the Quadcom. Quorum, the presence of a quorum in each of the committees concerned is necessary to conduct meetings of the joint committee. 1/5 of all the members of the committees concerned shall constitute a quorum. In the event that a member in one of committee is also a member of another committee or committees, the attendance of such member shall be counted in each committee to determine the presence of the quorum. So that is the reply of the chair to the query of Attorney Harry Roque. Now, Congressman Abante, please continue.
Okay, Attorney Roque, I'd like to remind you that I was the one that moved to contempt Ms. Badoy, after which, as said by Congressman Fernandez, you have maligned this institution. Now, I still maintain my position to hold in abeyance these contempt charges against you. But I cannot do anything, Attorney Roque, if this whole body right now will cite you in contempt. That's the only thing that I'd like to say.
Ko, mga bes.
Thank you, Congressman Abante. Now we vote on the motion by Congressman Salo. May I ask Congressman Salo to please reiterate the motion?
Sir Chair, allow me to reiterate my earlier motion that considering that former Secretary Attorney Harry Roque has lied to this committee, that amounts to disrespect on the members of this committee, which is contemptible under Section 11E of the rules of this House of Representatives on inquiries in aid of legislation. I therefore move, Mr. Chair, that he would be cited for contempt by this committee. Thank you.
There is a motion to cite Attorney Harry Roque in contempt for violating Section 11, Paragraph E of the Rules of Procedure governing inquiries in aid of legislation of the House of Representatives. There is a quorum in each of the committees composing the Quadcom. So, may I ask the committee secretary to please record the vote of all the members in this committee hearing.
Mr. Chair, just a clarificatory questions, Mr. Chair, before we proceed on the voting. Mr. Chair, I was listening to the manifestation of Chairman Acop, and well, I agree with him. Voting should be done if there is a outright objection to a motion raised. I believe the motion that was raised by Congressman Ron Salo, has not been objected to, Mr. Chair. Did you object?
Can we get a clarification as to the position of Congressman Paul Dasa with respect to the motion of Congressman Salo? Are you objecting, Your Honor?
Well, I beg to disagree with my good friend, Chairman Acop. The chair had opened the floor for comments before taking it to a vote. So my position is the chair had already decided to let people speak and then take it to a vote. But I will abide by your ruling, Chair. Should you take that position, but if you want to take it to a vote, I'm also willing to vote.
So in that case, if I may be allowed to explain, in that case, Mr. Chair, if the good gentleman from the good Deputy Minority Leader accede to the fact that even the chair can decide the chairman can decide whether to cite Attorney Roque in contempt or not, then we will just simply yield to the decision of the
Mr.
chairman
Chair.
and no longer proceed with any voting, Mr. Chair, because under the rules, the only way we can proceed with the vote, Mr. Chair, if there's an objection, and since there's no objection, we relay. I mean, I agree with Congressman.
The rules states that 2/3 of the member present must agree to a motion in order that the motion will be approved and carried.
Yes.
So, in this case, the motion to cite Attorney Harry in contempt was properly made by the movant, and no objection was put forward, meaning it is a unanimous decision in accordance and in approval of the motion of Congressman Salo. So the motion is to cite him in contempt. So since, again, there was no objection made by any of the member present, therefore, the ruling of the chair and the members is that Attorney Atty.Roque is now cited in contempt. Okay? So, again,
Mr. Chair,
the
Mr. Chair, just a quick manifestation. I will not be questioning your ruling. I'd just like to register my vote as a no for that motion.
so isn't that an objection?
Mr. Chair.
Okay, it's a vote. Now, I just wanted
Yeah,
to
just
make
for
that
the
clear.
record. I didn't want to delay it any further. I could have objected and make everybody
Okay.
vote.
Thank you.
But I wanted to give you that flexibility to immediately rule on it as requested and by Chairman Akop and Kong
Okay.
Jong.
Thank you.
But just for the record, I would have said I voted no for that motion.
Thank you, Congressman Paul Daza. The motion of Congressman Ron Salo to cite Attorney Atty.Roque in contempt is now approved.
Mr. Chair, can
Mr.
I move
Chairman.
for reconsideration?
Mr. Chairman.
Let us first hear the member. The next the rule clearly states that after citing in contempt a resource person, a proper motion of the penalty must be open to the body. So is there any motion?
Mr. Chair, can I move for a few minutes suspension?
Okay, 1 minute suspension. Our resource person, Attorney Atty.Roque, was cited in contempt for violating Section 11, Paragraph E of our rules. And after the contempt, the proper motion is to follow Section 12, which speaks of the penalty. Is there any motion? Congressman Salo?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, and to this honorable committee, in consideration of the fact that the resource person, former Secretary Atty.Roque, is my former law professor, fellow Kabayan Party List representative, and a former member of this House of Representatives, and in consideration also of his claim for honest mistake, and of course, the apologies that he has given to this committee. And finally, in consideration personal relations, as you has mentioned a while ago that he was my ninong, respectfully move, Mr. Chair, that the penalty be shortened to the barest minimum, which is just 1 day or 24 hours, Mr. Chair.
Second motion, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion,
Second motion,
duly
Mr. Chair.
seconded, to impose a penalty of 24 hours to our resource person, Attorney Atty.Roque. Hearing no objection, the motion is carried.